As a man, one of the best things you can learn how to do is to mean what you say and say what you mean. And the only way you can actually do that is by allowing yourself to spend enough time alone that you can accurately think through problems and come up with your own conclusion instead of just spitting out whatever you saw on social media or you heard someone else say. And I say this because if you think of any man who's had a significant impact on this world, whether it's Elon Musk or Bill Gates, freaking within sports, Muhammad Ali, Conor McGregor, anybody that you can think of, what they have been able to do is master the ability to think, to look at a problem and come to a conclusion that they can use to be able to move forward in their pursuit of becoming the version that we all know of them today. And for a long time, I never understood this. And because of that, it kept me stuck. It kept me anchored in this reality that did nothing but just slowly deteriorate the version of me that I wanted to become. Whenever I first started to get into entrepreneurship, I would literally sit there and I would block out all of the negative thoughts that were going in my head. I would listen to music, I would watch videos, I would do everything but actually deal with the main problem that was going on. And that was the first time I heard that saying that you don't have business problems, you have personal problems showing up within your business. And when I heard that saying, it was because my personal problems had got so bad that I literally was like crippled. Like I would wake up in the morning, I would barely be able to get out of bed, and I would lay on the floor sometimes and just curl up in a ball and not really be able to do anything, just because my thoughts eventually became so loud that for me to really distract them, I would have to either blast music or play some crazy thing on the television so that I could somehow distract myself. And whenever those things weren't playing, I was slowly being eaten alive by the thoughts that I allowed run through my head. And because of that experience, it forced me to learn how to be comfortable by myself, be comfortable being alone. And I forced myself to sit there for at least 30 minutes every single day and do nothing but learn how to control my thoughts. I did nothing but sit there and just teach myself how to think through problems, how to think through whatever the heck was going on within my life so that I can have my own opinion on how I want to show up and how I want to be able to be perceived by other people. And because of that, I've now learned that this game of life that we're all playing, we were never given a rule book, but the way to win is not through avoiding, it's through conquering. It's through conquering your internal so that you can conquer the external, because everything that is going on within the internal is reflected in the external. And that's so important because if you truly think that by you avoiding being able to sit with yourself, that you're doing yourself or anybody else a favor, you're lying to yourself and you know it. The amount of people who have said you should start meditating and then they say, no, I couldn't sit there with my thoughts for 10 minutes. I couldn't do that. That's not something that I would be able to sit there. It goes back to that study back in like 2014, whenever they had people have the option between sitting by themselves in a room for 15 minutes or getting shocked. And majority of people said, I would rather be shocked than have to sit there with my thoughts and just think. And that is crazy because if you cannot trust yourself to be alone with yourself, how can you expect anybody else to trust you? Learning to be alone and to allow yourself to think through problems is the greatest gift that we were given as human beings because it allows us to be able to come to conclusions that help us move forward and better the world that we're in. But when you rob yourself of that experience, you can seem successful on the external, but on the internal, you will slowly eat yourself alive to the point where you are forced to face whatever demons you're hiding from. And the longer you resist having to face them, the bigger the monster it's going to be whenever you have to. And so by allowing yourself to sit there for 20 minutes at least a day and just think about what's going on, think about how you're going to move forward within your life, learn how to control your thoughts. What you allow yourself to do is just become a more present human being and also a more aligned version of yourself with the version of you that you're supposed to be. Each and every single one of us have a mission. And the more we block ourselves from being able to listen to what our conscious is telling us, the harder it is for us to be able to achieve that thing. And that's why every single person who I work with, I tell them that they need to be able to sit by themselves. They need to learn how to be alone, because if you are not controlling your thoughts are controlling you, and your thoughts create your reality. Everything is created first from a thought. And so if you have no control over the thoughts that are running through your head, you have no control over your life, and you are just walking down what other people tell you, a path other people tell you you should be on, or you're deluding yourself into believing that you are happy with the existence that you're living in. And you do that by forcing yourself not to truly think about the existence that you're living in. Like, it's literally that simple. And I'm telling you, if you knew the benefits of being able to sit alone in silence and meditate on your thoughts, or meditate on how you're going to create the life that you would want, people would pay thousands of dollars for it. And it's completely free, but people still do not use it because they are too scared to face who they really are. And that could be for a number of reasons, because A, they may not be happy with who they think they'd find out if they sat alone with themselves. I know at first I wasn't. And it showed me gaps within my character that I needed to develop if I wanted to be somebody who could feel confident enough to sit down in this chair and talk about a topic like this to you. It could show you that you may be hanging around with the wrong people, that you may be on the wrong career path, or whatever it is. But wouldn't it be better for you to find that out earlier rather than later, whenever you have no choice but to continue down that path? Wouldn't you rather sit with your thoughts and really think about how your life is going, about the things that you want to believe in? Like, by you allowing yourself to be alone, it could be your greatest superpower. I'm telling you, the greatest gift as a man is to be able to say what you mean and mean what you say. And if you do not allow yourself to ponder your thoughts long enough to come to your own conclusions, you could never do that confidently for a long period of time. And so, if you really want to be someone who is influential, or somebody that can confidently speak about the things that they believe in, you have to allow yourself to carve out time for yourself. And that's why I say, spend 20 minutes every single day just thinking. I go to the sauna every morning after my workouts, and I don't even really care about the benefits of the sauna. I know about them, but I literally go in there specifically so I can have zero inputs coming in, and I can just sit there and think. I don't bring my headphones in the sauna. I don't bring my phone in the sauna. I sit there with my eyes closed and I just think for 20 minutes, and then I get out. And after I'm done, I'm ready to start my workday, because I have thought through exactly how I want this day to go, exactly how I want to show up. I've thought through different mental systems that I can use to be able to be more efficient with how I go about my day. And that was all because, instead of me avoiding myself, I decided to sit down with myself and pretty much have a brainstorming session where I think about how I want to be able to show up. And if you're not doing this, do this for 20 days and then come back and write down in the comments how much you've changed. Like, write down right now how you feel, and come back in 20 days and just say, I did this, and just comment the difference, just so you can see how powerful this is.